welcome to another Saturday on your number one podcast station. We got a great guest with us today. And before I introduce him, I just want to say that quoting, and I'll tell you who said this quote.
Okay.
It says, "You don't know how much a man's life can change by one book." And this one was said by Malcolm X.
MashaAllah.
Yeah. Ishaq, it's a pleasure to have you on the show.
It's my pleasure to be here. Really, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, and thank you to Elizabeth for introducing you to us.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for accepting us,
Uh,
our invitation.
It's like I said, it's my pleasure, and may Allah reward you guys.
We're very happy.
And girl, and when I say guys,
Guys and girls.
girls.
Guys and girls, right? You gotta
Yes,
generalize it.
exactly. Yeah.
Because people somehow they get upset.
Yes.
They're like, you're
What? You're
neglecting the other
excluding? Yeah,
gender.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. I will never.
Never do that. Never do that. So, is it your first time in the Middle East?
It is actually.
Yeah.
It's my first time in a Muslim country,
Yeah.
and I just love it.
First ever country, Muslim country.
First ever country in the first ever Muslim country.
Okay.
Like since ever, you know, and I just love it.
I think I see you are in the traditional attire. I think
Yes.
you are getting the hang of it right
But
now.
but the thing is that the truth, maybe they see me like this, but the truth is that it's the first time I put this on my head. I just thought it would be cool, you know, that
It is cool. Actually.
that I have this like that, you know. But alhamdulillah,
It actually suits you, you know?
alhamdulillah,
Really, yeah. If I was seeing
I
you in the
love
street,
it.
I wouldn't know
you
you were
know?
from outside, you know?
You know, I love it.
Yeah.
Actually, at the airport, the second time I came, I was in the lane, and the security guard he came to reach me. He said, "Hey, you're on the wrong lane." But I was in the other nationality
Nationality.
lane. You know, he thought I was Qatari.
Okay, so you were in the Khalij. Oh no, he wanted you to be in the Khaliji lane, the
Yes.
Gulf nationality
Yes,
lane.
yes,
Okay.
and he said, "Show me your passport," but showed my Canadian passport. He said, "Okay, no." I said, "You can still let me pass," you know.
You know, in the airport, you will look for shortcuts and everywhere you see them. You know.
Yes.
So if you had a shortcut,
Yes.
don't say no. Say like, okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Wait until you reach the guy in the gully, then he will say, okay, you're in the long lane. He will not let you go back. So
Yeah, subhanallah.
And how was your experience actually reaching here when you arrived? What was that like, coming all the way from Canada?
But when I arrived, actually, I got a really good, how you call this? Reception, because it was, like I said, as I just said the second time, because the first time was not the same thing. I was in a VIP. So somebody just got me outside of the airport. They brought me to our room and they said, just wait, we're going to get your bags. And here's some food if you want some. So I was like, okay, this is good, you know. I love it. And there's a thing that I didn't know. Like I started filming in the airport, but they said that was not allowed. And but you know, like this was the first impression of Qatar. So the first impression of Qatar was really good, and until now it's still going on good, you know.
And you
Alhamdulillah.
actually had a chance to travel even to Mecca.
Yes, mashallah. This is a blessing from Allah, from God. I've been able to go to Mecca and to Medina and to see all the holy places, and like where the battle of Uhud was, when I went up to the mountain of Jabal al-Nur.
Yeah. Different experience.
Yes.
You know what you're reminding me of is how, to be honest, the first time that I ever read a book in my life was actually the book by Malcolm X, the biography.
Okay.
It was my first year in school. Someone gave me that book as a present. And he was like, you should read this book. It's a very interesting book. Especially that it tells a lot of stories.
Yes.
And I feel like, you know, I'm reliving that book with you right now.
Mashallah.
Really. Because how, you know, you started your story, and also where you found faith and how you ended up and now visiting the Middle East. It's the same chapters that went through Malcolm X's life. And he actually never been to the Middle East in his
Yes,
in his
yes,
life.
true,
Yeah.
true.
So when he came, he actually started touring Lebanon, Saudi Arabia,
Yes.
Mecca, Medina. He went to Sudan, he went to Egypt, he went to Al-Azhar, and he started doing his research in Islam and stuff like that. And it was a very interesting story to see a man's life completely change 360 degrees from the way he was living, from, you know, being in New York,
Yes.
living in Brooklyn, from like the drugs, you know, the hustling,
Yes.
the cards, to becoming a very conservative
Well, he changed
Muslims.
in jail. Huh?
Mhm.
He changed in jail.
Yes, he actually, when he went to jail, he was very depressed, and he said in the book I've never read before.
Yeah.
But there was a library in jail where he started reading, and he met a couple of Muslim brothers actually inside the jail, and they started teaching him about Islam. And ever since then, his curiosity about Islam kicked in.
Yes.
Where did you first find Islam? Like,
Where
what's
did I first find Islam?
Yeah.
My first contact with
the
Islam
first encounter?
was in jail actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time that I got in contact, because where I come from Canada, the province Quebec and the city Montreal. And at that time, there was not really immigration from a Muslim country,
Yeah.
and I did not have friends that were Muslim.
Yeah.
So when I was in jail, my first contact with Islam was when I was in jail, 19 years old. I was a Christian, and as a Christian, when things are bad, you're starting to getting close to God, and you
Yeah.
start reading the Bible.
Yeah.
But when things are good, you don't really
Get in touch with God.
know.
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing. I was reading the Bible, and there's a boy. Actually, he's a brother, but at that time I did not know that he was a brother. He was not hanging out with me. He just.
His own
I don't even know how he came to me. He came to me with the Quran, and he said I should read this. He explained to me that I have to wash a little bit my hands and my arms and my feet. I didn't know. I just did it at night, and I started
Were
reading
you mad
it.
when you did that?
Sorry?
Did it annoy you that someone approached you that way, or was
No,
it
actually,
fun?
I'm not a really
Aggressive person.
No,
Yeah.
I am not. So, even when I get violent, I laugh.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's a
Reverse
good story to
psychology.
tell.
Reverse psychology.
So you did wudu and you started reading. For the
yeah,
very first
I
time.
started reading, but at that time, like I said, I was reading the Bible, and the Bible, it's a story, and the Quran is the word of Allah. So the writing was not the same thing, and I did not understood, so I just give them back. So that was my first contact with Islam.
And,
And
that was
actually-
19 years old.
19 years old, and actually I did not know that. It's just after I converted, I said, "Oh, that was the Quran," because I forgot about it. I didn't know that it was the book of Islam.
Yeah.
I think 19 is a very special age somehow, because myself included, I took Shahada. I became a Muslim when I was 19 years old,
Mashallah.
alhamdulillah. And 3 of my friends from France and from the West took their Shahada when they were 19 years old as well. So there's something special about this transitional teenage stage from teen years into adult years, maybe more self-awareness. What can you say about your self-awareness at that point?
Oh, self-awareness at the time. I was still in a mood that I didn't care about nothing. I always believed in God, but at that time in jail, I don't like. It's just that I was living a violent time. Was when I was before that. I used to use marijuana,
Yeah.
and in jail I stopped because I was not able, because usually before, when I used marijuana, I used to chill, and life is good and beautiful, and I'm happy. But when I was in jail, and when you see the walls that are all dirty and with
It's not a beautiful view, to be honest.
yeah,
Yeah.
the cells are ugly. The bathroom is
Disgusting.
not the bathroom, because you have the bathroom in yourself in your cell, and the people at that time, it was a lot of violence.
Yeah.
Black with black, Spanish with Spanish, and we how you call that when you with a knife.
Stab.
Well, yeah, it was a lot of stabbing and a lot
Yeah.
of. So you have to wear 2-3 pants and many shirts. If you get stabbed, it doesn't pass easily.
Have you been to jail before, or was it your first time, though?
That was my first adult time,
In
but
jail.
yes.
And you were 19.
No, actually I went in when I was 18, and the thing is that
Were you scared?
No, that's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's what exactly what I was going to say. The thing is that at that time, with time, fashion and things
Yeah.
change. And at that time, the music was about like people in the gangs, and the movies was about gangs as well.
Yeah.
So I saw in the movie that it's normal to how you call that again?
Stab.
Stab people and kill people, and I was ready for that. And when I went to jail, actually,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell what I did, but I did something really violent
Yeah.
that went on the newspaper for 3 days and on the TV.
Mhm.
So when I went into jail, they were watching me on TV.
Oh, so they were scared of you.
That's what happened,
Yeah.
And after that, at that time, I really didn't care, and I saw that people in jail were really. It was not like the movies; they were just like not that much violent in Canada, And because I was ready for more, I said, "Oh, so that is jail? It's nothing. I can sleep all day and eat when I want, Like this is nothing." So
Was it a maximum security type of jail?
No, not at that time.
Uh-huh.
But a few months after, because of my mentality,
Yeah.
I did some violence in jail as well, and I got control of the jail
Mhm.
and of the part where I was. And then I was again 18 years old, little man, And after when that happened, I made so much trouble that they took me and they put me into the maximum security.
Yeah. Which
And-
is solitary, right?
Sorry?
Solitary jail, like on your own.
No, not yet, because even that
Mhm.
they put me there before, and even there I was happy because I'm the type of man that is happy to be alone,
Okay.
and being alone I don't really care,
Yeah.
and I prefer to be alone than with people in jail.
Yeah.
So they put me there, and I'm always, I'm not the type of guy that you're gonna push me and I'm gonna get mad. I'm the type of guy that when you're gonna push me, I'm not gonna show you that it's affecting me.
Yeah.
So when they put me in the hole and they put me out of the hole, but actually I was laughing and say, no, please leave me in the hole.
Yeah. And
Just
that
to-
wasn't triggering for them.
Yeah,
It
just to
was
show
annoying.
them that what you're doing doesn't do nothing to me.
Yeah.
And at that time, the mentality that I had was like, okay, I'm in jail, so like I can do whatever I want. What you gonna do? You're gonna
Yeah.
put me to jail?
Mhm.
I'm already in
already-
jail.
It's like it's already done.
Yeah. So what
Can-
you gonna do to me?
Yeah.
Maybe here in Middle East it will not work.
Yeah.
Maybe there's other things after jail. but here in Canada, well, not here, but in Canada,
Uh-huh.
after jail, it's finished. They put you. The hole is the maximum that they can do.
How long
But
was
then
it?
you were transferred to the maximum security
Yes,
one, where
yes.
things are more serious actually.
Yes, things are more serious, but because I have that mentality that I don't speak a lot, that I matter my own things, the people that were in maximum security, they used to like me. And what happened is, I don't know, in my life there are always a lot of things that happen, like they actually at that jail at the beginning, well, not maximum security, at that time we had our keys. That just to tell you how
Your own key
your
or-
keys, we had our keys from our cells. So meaning when we go out in the day, we can shut down their cells and leave our things there so we don't get stolen. And there was school, and so it was a relax.
A reformation kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
facility, yeah.
But the thing is that at that time, the Hells Angel
Yeah.
in Montreal, they killed. They start killing guards,
Okay.
from jail to get control. And one day, all the guards were gone. It was the police who were looking at us. And at that time, like I told you, like it was not really. They had when we used to eat cafeteria. I don't know how you
Yeah.
say.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Cafeteria.
So we used to have like knives, but real metal knives. So I used to steal them,
Yeah.
bring them in my cell, and when we were like when there was only like the police watching on us, what I did is that with my knife I kind of opened a little thing in my door,
Yeah.
and I was able to put my hand out and to open my cell actually.
Yeah.
And this is what I did. And I screamed to everybody. I said, okay, everybody, put your keys under the door, and once you're free, go free another one. So it just multiplied. So in like seconds, everybody was out. So this is what we did. But we did that not to get out of the jail, just
like a riot, huh?
Yeah, no. Just we got out, and because it was in the day, it was not a far. Usually we were out, and because they're dead, we were not supposed to be out. But we got out and start making coffee, watching TV, and after the cops they saw us, put us back to jail, back in the cell. After that, we did it again, and then is where they took off those keys, and they stopped putting metal thing.
Plastic.
So because of me, they changed the
system.
of that jail.
So you were rebellious from a young age.
Yes,
And you were a man of change. No?
Yeah, I started.
How long was the sentence for, and what's the reason?
The sentence was 2 years. Actually, it was 858 days.
Okay.
Because when you're in jail, you count days.
You don't count.
And you know, there's you know, sometimes they play with people. They say, okay, this is your sentence, but if you are a good person, you can leave before.
Yeah.
And me, actually, when I got the sentence, I never thought about, because I saw the other people. They thought they were going out. I'm good. I'm going out. I'm going. And then the guards say, no, you're not going out. And then they depress. And then they're not living good. So me in my head, actually, I put it at the maximum time, as I didn't lie to myself saying that I'm going to get out earlier.
Even if you behave.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
You mentioned something about Hell's Angels.
yes.
Can you just explain what that is for the people who have no idea of this type of lingo?
Yes, Hells Angels it's a group, like a criminal organization that actually it's international. It's everywhere. Not only in Canada, you have it in Australia, you have it in Europe, you have it everywhere. And it's people that does how you call that? Motorbikes. Yes. Biker gangs. That's what it is. Biker gangs named Hells Angels, and they do crime and violence.
Were you a member of a bike gang?
I no, but when I got out, I used to work with them a little bit. But the thing is that I started working with them when I was making money, and actually at that time I was making more money than the people I was working for.
Let's not jump into that.
Yeah,
But I want to know.
okay.
So you left jail now. You're 18 years old.
Yes.
That was your first encounter with the Quran.
Yes.
You didn't really pay much attention to it because you didn't understand it.
Exactly.
You spent the maximum there. So after that, what happened?
Maximum, I got kicked out of that maximum because I made a riot.
Yeah.
And after they put me to another jail that is more with gang people and more
serious people. How did that feel? Was it integrating?
I felt like home.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So do you feel like there is a promotion or like a reputational promotion in that?
But it's because
every time you do something, they put you in a new place.
Yeah, they put me to another jail. But the thing is that when you don't care about any repercussion, me in my life, I see a pattern that is taking me 6 to 7 months to take control of the place, and that's what I did after. At 19 years old, I took control of that part of that. They say a wing of that jail with a guy who got deported and is dead right now. But this what happened.
So were you inspiring people even from a young age, even though it was rebellious? You were inspiring the masses even those days?
I was. I don't know. It's just that people, you know, they following me. Yes.
Right.
You know, they're following me in what I do, and that's, you know.
It always felt empowering, or you felt more powerful when there is people listening to you, doing what you do.
Yes.
Was it just like catching with the moment? Everybody just do this and they do it.
But actually, you know, I don't know how to. I was not really looking for it. You know, I was just living normally. You know,
so you're being authentic. You're being authentic to you,
right? You know, yeah, this is how I am. So I was not trying to get control because I'm a control freak or anything. You know what I mean? No, so.
Yeah, I want to take it back, like before you started,
yes,
like the gang activities. Like, how was it like in Montreal? What part of the city?
Actually,
Mm.
you know, the truth. I gotta
Yes.
the truth. Montreal is a city. I'm not even in Montreal. I'm like a little city next to Montreal called Laval. You know.
Okay.
Laval.
So it's not really an area where like it was not a poor area where I had nothing,
So you grew
no
up in a
choice.
good place.
I grew up in a good place.
Did you
yeah.
have a good family, like mom and dad, or
I had my mom, and when I was younger,
yeah?
it was my stepdad. But when I was younger, I did not know it was my stepdad. I thought it was
Okay.
my father. You know.
Mm.
So, but after I learned it was not my dad, and we didn't agree. Had things like he was doing things that right now as an adult I don't understand. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like he used to take, because I have brothers and sisters, he used to take my brothers and sisters and me, go out, like buy ice cream to everybody, but not me, you know?
Mm.
So this is things now, and as I'm an adult, I'm like, how he was thinking, like, I don't understand, you know? But this is, you know, we used to fight, and I used to not feel happy, cry, where's my father? And there's another thing, you know? I'm half, like my mom is from Switzerland. She's white. She has blonde hair, you know. And my stepfather is from France. And my brother is blonde, you know. And my sister too, like blonde, and they're white. So I'm the only one who has color.
And your biological dad?
I don't know him.
You don't know.
The first time I saw him, because when I 1 years old, he was there. But I mean, the first time I saw him was in jail. Actually, at 19 years old.
Ethnically, he's black or
He's black. He's from Haiti.
from Haiti?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes.
So you're half Haitian, half Swiss.
Exactly.
The-
Born in Montreal.
Born in
Born in
Montreal.
Montreal.
So, what got you? So you grew up in a financially welfare place.
No,
No.
not welfare.
Like in like
Medium.
a medium.
Medium
class.
Yeah,
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 a
medium
medium
class.
And how did you get into the
Crime scene.
How did I get
vibe-
into the crime
vibe
scene?
like-
Actually, it was in school, because starting, you know, I think I started to have problem at home, you know, with my stepfather. And after this, it showed in my school.
The anger.
Yes, and I was doing things in school. Then I got kicked out of school, and then I had the mentality that I didn't care. But at the same time, I was listening to hip hop, rap, and at that time it was NWA, you know,
Yeah.
and
The early 90s. Huh?
yes. So I started, like, because my father figure was not there, I started taking rappers as my
As
father
your role-
figure.
your role
Yeah,
model.
exactly, because they were black, you know.
Yeah.
So my father black is not there. I put posters of the rappers, and I thought that is my
They-
father, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was getting
They
like
played a role model for you
exactly.
somehow. And especially gangster rap in the 90s was very violent. And Tupac Shakur, Dr.
Exactly,
Dre, Snoop
yes.
Dogg, NWA,
Yeah.
What's his name also?
Snoop Dogg was just starting, you know.
Yeah, it was
He
just
was
starting.
just starting.
Wu
Yes.
Tang.
Wu-Tang
Yeah.
and Method Man. and
Wu Tang.
Redman.
That's after. Yeah.
But they weren't really that gangster rap, to be honest, Wu-Tang, were they?
They were gangster, but not the same.
Not the
gangster.
same as like
no.
Tupac and,
No,
and
no, no.
Biggie and all those.
No,
yeah.
like
You know, sometimes I felt like media helps. Like, for example, like I was doing this research back in the day in my sociology studies, and it was saying that a lot of people that get into crime at a young age, they actually come not from broken homes,
Yeah.
but from actually angry homes.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, in the podcast we learn stuff.
Yeah.
From both sides, you know what I mean? So they come from angry homes, and these angry homes mostly actually from replaced parents, really. Step parents, or like a single mom who's angry because she can't handle the stress of raising one kid, and vice versa.
Yes.
And then comes school, and after school comes society.
Yes.
Like, it's categorized.
yes.
Because school, that's where you meet people.
yes.
And you could meet the right or the wrong people.
Right.
Then
Exactly.
if you meet the wrong people, if you live in a society where the like freedom is actually open, you know what I mean? Like, for example, if you make it two comparison studies, if you did this in the Middle East or somewhere in the West, it would be a bit different, because there's a lot of control in
Yes.
the Middle East based on societies.
Yes.
You know, a lot of family, uncles, cousins, you know what I mean? But in the Western world, the pure individualism exists. Like, there's no collective societies.
That's what I was very
Yeah.
curious about now, because if we're going to use Ishaq's story
Yeah.
and drop it in the Middle East, specifically here in Qatar,
Yeah.
you have youth who are into criminal activity, or they want to be, or they aspire to be because of the hip hop culture, because of anything really, because of angry homes. What can potentially stop them from going ahead with this individuality? I'm just curious about what everyone thinks about it.
A few things. Number one is the religion. They could not be religious, but having the religion as a moral background code, it would kind of back them from doing a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if you would go to the West, for example, your friend would be like, "Let's do steal this."
Yes.
And if you tell him, "Let's not do it," are you scared? He'd be like, "No, I'm not scared. I'd do it."
Yes.
Here, you'd be like, it's haram.
Yes.
Even if he's not religious, he'd be like, "You know what?
Yeah.
You're right." There's that always backlash that kicks in when you use religion as a context, even if they were not religious. You know what I mean? I've seen that a lot throughout the youth. The word taboo or haram backs them from doing a lot. You know what I mean? And this happened actually, even like going back to the book, in his third chapter of becoming a Muslim. He was doing things as a previous African American, but yet again, they're not haram, but he couldn't do. But when he realized that it kind of contradicts with the religion,
The consequence,
he would stop them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even though it's not haram.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
But so you growing up, I felt like somehow I sensed you grew up in a mid-class home.
Yes.
Because Montreal is not, or like the Quebec itself is not.
No, you have.
It's not the rough of a city.
No. You have some areas that they poorer and there's gangs and everything, but not that much.
Not that much.
No.
Like the general opinion of Quebec is a very peaceful city.
Yeah, kind of. Yes.
Yeah. But so, how when you went to that maximum prison, how many years did you stay there? The second one.
Oh, but it was all together.
2 years.
Yeah, it was 2 years, like from 18 to 20.
Yeah.
So this is all in the same sentence.
Because I'm really trying to understand your life. I'm really trying to understand. So after the prison,
yes.
What happened after the prison? In a very short way,
what happened after the prison?
Yeah.
After the prison, Ishaq became known and respected because people respect people that go to jail.
Yeah.
And the reason I went to jail, like I said, it was a really violent thing. So they respected me, and because I was ready to do certain things.
But you weren't in a gang. You were just a gangster individual.
Like I wasn't in a gang, but at that time we kind of created a gang.
Oh,
I will not take that seriously.
Yeah.
But
did you have a name for it?
I'm not gonna even tell that. but so it was we had because there was where I was hanging out with there was some blacks, there was some white, but still. The hip hop industry was just starting, and there was some white power people, in the area. So sometimes we were hanging out and chilling, and those white power guy with this father is a cop, and he had a gun, and running after us and shooting. So this is like, it was not a dangerous place, but still we always walked with weapons, and we created that, because it was not a result of the area. We were creating this situation.
Yeah.
Because if we were just like normal walking with no weapon, nothing will happen.
So how did it get serious? The first act or the first event that made you feel that, or looking back at the story, that this is the first event or situation that now I am a violent person? Or when did it start, the path that led you eventually to prison?
Because I already had problems before 18 years old. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So at like 15 years old, when I got kicked out of school, and my mom, she had she had her way to raise me.
Yeah.
So every time that something went bad, she said, "Get out of the house," So, and me as a little man that didn't care, I was actually getting out of the house.
Yeah.
So I was living in the street, and when I say in the street, because I had no place to sleep,
No money.
for like a few weeks, So sleeping at people's house every day. I have to find where I'm gonna sleep every day. I have to find where I'm gonna where I'm gonna eat. And the thing is that I started, with that bad crowd. I started like taking drugs and drinking alcohol. So and it's there that I started doing crime to live.
Yeah.
So
Now you started searching for money
yeah.
because money is always.
But it was not the main focus at
Yeah.
that time. I thought
Sure.
that I thought happiness was just like partying and
being free.
being free, smoking weed and drinking alcohol. I thought that was happiness.
Yeah.
But at the same time, sometime when we did some crime, we did some really violent thing, and not thinking that maybe that person will die. And actually, the first time that it really got serious, that person was really going to die.
Yeah.
He went in
ER.
the hospital for a long time,
Yeah.
We left actually thinking that he was dead.
Yeah.
So, from there on, because when you do something in Canada and you're not even 18, you get a lot of chances.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's in Islam, there's no chance. But like you go, you get charged, and you go to court, and they say, okay, next chance. Like
Okay.
you're okay.
You were in probation.
Warning,
Yeah,
warning.
warning.
Warning. So, and I have some other people that I was with. They were going to like juvenile jail, and actually I went.
Yeah.
I went to juvenile jail, and I did not went there a long time, but there I wanted to become good, and I was allowed to go get a job. So this is what I did. I went out to go get a job, and when I got the job, they said, no, you cannot go, and I said, I'm gonna go.
Why not?
I don't know.
Did you have tattoos? Was it
At that
tattoos?
time, no.
No tattoos. huh?
No tattoos. The tattoos actually, I was, we can say, quote unquote, like how you call that?
Yeah,
Quote
quote
unquote.
unquote.
Quote unquote. Like I was kind of smart about it because
Yeah.
I wanted tattoo, but I knew people change when they grew up,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to do a tattoo that
And then regret it.
and regret it. So what I did, I took the tattoo that I wanted, put it on the wall. I thought I was 16 years old, something like that, and just watch it every day and see if I would get tired
you
of it.
feel it.
Yes. So my first tattoo I did was at 18 years old.
Which one? Was it this one?
No, it was on. It's on my arm,
Yeah.
and it's actually I was wanted by the police at that time, and so I was wanted by the police, and I was listening to Tupac, and Tupac is singing about outlaws. So my first tattoo, it's actually it's writing outlaw, and it's how you call that? A crane? Crane? Is that
The
a crane?
crown?
No, no, the face. The face when you
Not
die.
the mask.
No, when you die, the
Skull.
The
skull.
Lucifer.
skull.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a skull with a gun that shoots, and the
Outlaw thing.
yes, with when you shoot, you have some
Smoke.
smoke. The smokes make a dollar sign,
What does this
and
mean?
it's outlaw.
It cooked my interest.
It
the
says,
face.
Which one? The face on my hand, on my left hand.
Yeah.
So the face on my left hand actually is because most of my tattoos are
Means
negative.
Negative. huh?
Negative. Okay. I've I don't even know if I can say this, but I've beeped the world really big.
Yeah.
I have a lot of tattoos that from jail.
Yeah.
So are negative. So what I decided, because in Canada I used to when it's hot outside, I used to walk without a shirt,
Yeah, shirtless.
and it's normal there.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I need to put some positive tattoos, and even if at that time I was Christian, and I was the type of Christian that don't put pictures of like Jesus and things
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, I decided to just do this. So I have a full arm. I have here. I have on my shoulder. I have Mary,
Okay.
and on the forearm I have Jesus,
Yeah.
and on my hand is like an angel.
Okay.
Is
this is
is
an
it's nobody. It's just like an
Nobody.
angel. It's just because it's a full arm.
Yeah. How could you afford all these tattoos? They were expensive.
Yes, they are.
Was this when the money came?
Yeah.
This is when the money started flowing, huh?
Yeah,
Because I know this is at least $700, $800, yeah.
More than that.
More than
And
that,
just
yeah.
my end is just the face is like $600.
$600.
Yeah,
So-
and that's a good price, because I went to look, because this is something that I have for my life, you know.
Yeah.
I went to look for one of the best. I saw that he had like a lot of reward thing. He was getting into the magazines and
Yeah.
things like that.
He was a famous artist.
Yeah, so I said, I want you, and he was the owner of of the place, you
Yeah.
know. And because I made so much
money.
tattoos,
Yeah.
he gave me a price. So
Special price.
yeah,
Special price,
special. So even the special price is expensive, but
So,
still, you know.
Going back to the idea that also you told me that money wasn't the number one reason
Yes.
for you.
Yes.
Even though money is a lot of the reason why crime happens.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So you're kind of working the opposite, you know what I
Yes.
mean, than other people. Freedom. You were like a young rebellious man seeking for freedom, even though you were kind of free, but not that free. But you know,
Seeking freedom, but was it also an element of brotherhood, belonging to something or someone or a crew? Was there anything like that?
I don't think you wanted to be belonging,
It was more being cool,
yeah.
because this was like I said, this was
Like going
in the
after the
music.
father figure.
In the music, that
Mhm.
was who he was, you know, like and actually, I'm gonna tell you, like there's a song, Easy E, beating with my Louisville Slugger. So
Yeah.
it's a baseball bat.
Yeah.
This just tell you a little bit. That's a little bit close to what I did to go to jail.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the music had a lot of
Influence on you.
on
the
me.
process.
Yes.
You know, I used to listen to NWO all the time when I was young. I used to take my dad's car and listen.
Yes.
And I was men with attitude, because I can't say that.
Yes. And beep the police.
Yeah, and all that, but it never affected me, that because in my mind I used to look at it. I was like, okay, why are these African Americans so angry? You know. What I
Yes.
mean? Why are they so upset? Because I didn't really. I was young. I was 15.
Yes.
But then again, the music had a lot of anger. Growing up, I started understanding why they did, and each one was reflecting that anger in different ways.
Yes.
Some use crime, some use writing, some
Yes.
use music.
Yes.
When did you feel like you want to take a part of, like, a hold of your life, a control of your life? Like, you were 19, now you're in the streets, you're living.
I got out at 20
No,
years
yeah,
old.
20
He got
years
out
old.
at 20 years
Yeah.
old.
So when did you feel like now you want to
Change.
Did you ever get that chance, or like that feeling at
Like
that age?
change my life.
Yeah.
Like to
Did
be
you
a
feel like
better
this is
person.
pointless?
Yeah.
I think
No.
we should get to that, but you were talking always about your millionaire lifestyle. How did
Yes.
you transition to having a millionaire lifestyle? Then the change happened.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So let's get into
When did the money start flowing?
like
The money stuff started like the mentalities changed when I was in jail. You know, they put me to jail 2 years, and they put me with criminals.
Yeah.
And I start
Conversating with them.
speaking with people and seeing what they are there, and it's there that I changed the focus. I learned that actually happiness. I learned something that is wrong, but that's what I learned at that time. That happiness was not into, let's say, partying, taking drug, and drinking alcohol. Happiness was into getting a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, this was the goal. If I had money, I will be happy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I started actually my journey in jail.
Yeah.
Starting doing things, being in control of the drugs and everything.
Yeah.
So I started making money in jail.
Yeah.
And then I got out. And when I got out, because of my violent jail mentality, I saw other people that was just starting to make money. It was a group. They just got caught for like doing $1.5 million in a short time, and I saw them. It was the first people, like, because at that time in the hip hop, it was not already like big.
it wasn't about the
bling
money.
bling. No. It was not
yeah.
about the bling bling, the big cars. That was after.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So the first people that I saw with the big cars and everything was them.
Yeah.
and at that time they had like all suit up cars with a screen TV on the front, but the VHS in the trunk, you know, it's the VHS tape.
school.
Yeah, old school, you know. So
You're taking us way back.
yeah.
Like way back.
So you know that was it, and I said to my friend that we took control of the jail together,
Yeah.
and I used to talk to him. He was still in jail, and I said, oh, like those guys are doing, they're
Very
making
well.
money,
It's
and
time for me to step up and
yeah, they're not even that much, you know,
smart.
not smart, but like they're
Violent,
violent,
strong.
you know,
Right.
like we can take control.
Yeah.
So I started like doing business with them,
Okay.
and
After you left, you got out.
after I got out,
Yeah.
you know,
You got in touch with them,
and
so-
I got in touch with them because they were in like I had a way to get to them, you know, and there was a guy who that guy he was young.
Yeah.
That guy was like 16 years old, you know.
With 1.5 million.
Yeah,
Oof.
that guy was, you know, he was balling. He was young, and he gives me a chance.
Yeah.
And because I just got out of jail, because of my old relationship, and because of that chance, I was able to take this and to bring it to the people I used to hang out with,
Yeah.
and they used to be happy to do things for me.
Yeah.
So I became an employer,
Yeah.
and the people got jobs.
Yeah.
And then because I had a lot of people that were willing to do things for me,
Yeah.
it was easy for me to continue this, because people, you know, they get stopped, they go to jail, but doesn't matter. I have somebody else, you know. So my first thing that I did, you know, sometimes you do things with people. I know this as a fact in my life. I do things with people, and sometimes it just never works.
Yeah.
And you do things with another person, and it works always, you
Yeah.
know. But with me, my first thing that I tried, it worked, and I just made $6,000 in a week, and this was my
First money.
first money.
First big money.
$6,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But first money, because before it was not really. It was not even in the 500. Like before that,
Yeah.
like before 18 years old, it was nothing.
Not even
you know,
$50.
maybe $100. You
$100,
know,
yeah.
the $100 was good. You know, like.
Yeah.
But
How did you feel when you first ever got that 6,000?
I felt rich, and I felt I was acting not smart, because how it worked, every day I got actually around 1,000 something, and every day that money was spent.
Okay.
Okay, so
You
you,
know,
weren't being
because-
smart with your money.
No, because I didn't care. I said tomorrow I get another one.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just got out of jail, and the people are there, and
So-
I'm a guy who's really generous, quote unquote. So
Yeah.
when I have money, the people around me are gonna pay.
Yeah.
So, and it makes me feel more like I'm in charge.
Yeah.
I'm the boss, and
Yeah.
so
The upper hand.
yeah. So
The giver.
yeah, exactly. I used to throw the money. You know, I
Yeah.
didn't care.
Yeah.
So, and I kept that mentality.
And then it just kept floating in. When did
Yes.
you reach to the millions? After how long? Like a year, 2, 3, or?
After like 3, 4 years, what happened is that actually, like I said, what I'm saying is that I lived a millionaire life, but I was spending all the money always.
So
You understand?
never saved it.
No.
Is that similar to lots of people in the hip hop industry? We see them balling, and at the end, they don't really have any money. Because I
Exactly.
know a lot of rappers who are broke,
Yeah.
but you would never
They
think
made
they
a lot
are.
of money.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's all about education. And at that time, I had no education. Like my mom, she's from Switzerland. She it's like a lot of times story repeat themselves. You know, she was not good with her stepmother. So because of that,
Yes.
she left Switzerland. She left Switzerland at 18 years old alone to Canada. And because she had no real experience, she was not able to share that with me. And because me, I was raised by the music, I was doing the same thing that they're doing. And it's just after right now, like kids who are listening right now, like you're living in a really good time, because before there was no internet. Now you have internet, you can have access to all the education,
And
all the
this-
people, and
this
everything.
actually it's a very positive thing, because a lot of people, they think that social media is actually negative. But I believe that social media, it brought a lot of awareness and a lot
Yeah.
of education, because us as younger generation, when we used to listen to gangster rap
Yes.
or like these kind of music, even our parents, because they didn't know what they are, so like there was no sense of awareness that our parents were surveying our music or
No.
watching our taste and stuff like that. But now, as an adult, people are aware of these things. Like they know what this kind of music
Yeah.
is, what this kind of message is, what
Yes.
this kind of things. I used to play, for example, remember the song by Akon, Ghetto?
Yes.
Remember that one?
Yes,
And then there
yes,
was a remix
yes.
to it.
Yes.
And I used to play that in the middle of the living room, and there was a lot of and then he made a remix with a couple of French.
Yes. Yeah,
rappers.
exactly.
And that's a very negative message. And then, you know, my dad would listen to it. He'd be like, "Oh, that's a nice song," but he didn't know
He
what
doesn't
it
know
means.
the words.
He
Yeah.
doesn't know the words, but the rhymes and the music.
Yes.
Like, sorry, the music of it. And then I was also angry in a sense that, because when I started growing up, I felt like these music, they do send you vibes like, oh, you know, societies, the world, and all that. But yet again, I felt like the true anger really comes from what you watch,
Yeah.
what the kind of people you hang out with. You know what I mean? It sends you signals.
Well, that's why we were really curious to ask you what message can you give to our youth here in the Middle East with regards to watching and copying, I'd say, quote unquote, Western styles, and because it's mostly Western, if we're going to be honest.
Yeah.
Yes.
What would you say to them?
But first of all, are they Muslim, the people that I'm speaking
Most
to?
of them, yeah. Let's
Most
just
of-
talk to
in general.
in general,
In general.
yeah. Muslim youth.
The
Well-
thing is that when you don't know actually like everything about something, and you look at something and it looks good from the
From
outside,
the outside.
you want it, and that's normal because we all want happiness, you know.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if you look at somebody on Instagram, online, social media, and they look happy, you want to do
Yeah.
like them, you know. You want to be them.
Yeah.
But the first thing you have to ask yourself is that person showing the real deal?
Yeah.
Is that the truth that they were showing? Because we have to not lie to ourselves. A lot of time when people share things, it's not always, you know, they're not gonna show like how today I'm
Yeah.
depressed, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to show the best version
yeah,
of themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, okay, I'm eating this, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like always the best, you know, like
Yeah.
oh, this is a nice place, and so first of all, the people, they see just a fake life and they want that life, and after that, to get something, you have to how you say it? You have to take off a piece of something else, you know.
Like compromise.
Compromise,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
that's the word. You have to compromise to get something, and the thing is that what you compromise something, it's more important than what you're gonna get, and this you only know it when you have that thing that you wanted. So that's why, you know, a lot of time, you know, you want something, and even if somebody tell you like, oh no, it's not good, you should not do it, but you don't believe and you want to do it by
And-
yourself, you know. But there's a saying that say, you know, a smart person, you know, they learn by their own mistake.
Right.
You know, this is what I did. I learned by my own mistake.
Yeah.
But a genius is learning by other people's mistake. You know.
Yeah.
So the thing is
You
that,
sit and observe and watch.
yeah, if you want to be a genius,
Yeah.
you know, now is the best time ever.
Yeah.
Because you have access
To all
to people's
information.
life.
Yeah.
You have access to podcasts. You have access to YouTube shows. You have access to a lot of coach online. You have access to books. You know, like with internet, we have so much access that if you really want, let's say, to be rich, you know, but you can, because there's so much opportunities and education and
Yeah.
courses online, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe you're gonna buy a little bit, you know, you're gonna spend a little bit, but it will save you years of learning by yourself.
And the
So let me-
investment is huge.
Exactly. And before, it was not possible, because before you used to only have schools, and schools are not learning to people how to get rich. They're learning
How to be happy.
how to be happy, you know.
We suffer from all, like, especially in the Middle East, like the systemical education. It doesn't really focus on the critical mind. It's mostly like just memorizing and
Yes.
stuff like that.
Yes.
I want to take you back to the point, because you mentioned happiness a lot.
Yes.
And in existence, the Havoc massacre is between freedom and happiness.
Yes.
People are always in search of this, and each, you know, search for it on his own. Now you have all this money.
Yes.
Now you're a young man, you know, and you got millions, and you're making a lot of money.
Yes.
And you're free.
Yes.
When did you start sensing you're not happy when you had all this money? Like, What
Yeah.
was it like?
It's like because when you live a life, you
Especially you never had.
yeah, but when you live a life,
Yeah.
you're just in that life, you know. You don't reflect mostly on what you're doing and how you feel, you know.
Yeah.
You're just in it. So yes, the thing is that I used to love the way I was living.
Yeah.
I used to love to have weapon on me,
Yeah.
and I used to love to always watch my back,
Yeah.
and I used to love to be like
And
to-
nice clothes.
you know,
and dressed.
you
and
know,
nice
yes,
cars.
yes,
I've seen the
nice
cars you have.
restaurant and everything,
I've
you
seen
know.
the Porsches.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're talking.
Few Porsches
Yeah, we're
and,
talking some
and,
good money here.
and,
So.
and Benzes
Yeah.
and Viper and
Yeah.
all that thing, you know.
Yeah.
But the thing is that you're happy when you get those things for the first time.
Yeah.
But then when you have it all the time, it's
But when you have it all the time, it becomes normal.
yeah,
So when it becomes normal, then you have to, you know,
find
you-
something new.
exactly. So
Yeah.
what you do, you suit up your car. What you do, you destroy what everything is in a house and you
Yeah.
make it better.
Did you buy a nice house?
Yes.
Yeah.
But then after I had
You
to
destroyed it.
destroyed everything inside and make it better.
Okay.
You know, and then you have this, but doesn't matter. I prefer living in a hotel suite
Yeah.
when like people are serving me, you know,
Yeah.
because here in the Middle East, it's easy to get people to at your house to serve you, but in Canada,
It's
it's
hard,
not
yeah.
really.
And it's way more expensive.
yeah,
as
it's
well,
more way expensive, and it's not really
Something you think about.
yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
even thought about it. You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
It's not.
The idea of maids.
It's
and
not
stuff
in
like
the
that.
how you call that. It's
The
not
culture.
In the
Yeah.
culture, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not in the culture. So being in the hotel with my little daughter that was like not even a year,
Yeah.
and they the hotel they used to come to babysit my daughter, or the limousine driver used to babysit, because you have to understand that in that time, you know, a lot of time I was wanted by
Yeah.
the police
Okay.
because my life was crime every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you do crime every day, for sure you're gonna have problems with the police.
Yeah.
But the thing
Especially
at that
when
time,
you're that flashy.
yes,
Now everybody's like,
but I was flashy, but you know,
in a smart way.
like because I was flashy, but you know, still after, because I had two life in this thing. I started with that group,
Yeah.
okay, and what happened with that group is that after a few years, I learned everything. I was like, I gave myself, you know, I said, okay, I'm gonna do this for free. I'm gonna do this. I learned everything, and then I started making more money than them.
Yeah.
And when that happened,
You felt like they didn't like it.
they didn't like it, and they actually they made violence on me. You know, they
Oh.
came to my place.
Try to
I
kill
have
you.
the big scar on my hand, scar on my head. They wanted to like
Kill you.
yeah. So from there on, it changed. What I was no more doing what with them.
Yeah.
I was alone, and I start my own organization.
Okay.